Restoration is brought to you by
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got Yes protection.
Afrochic, Ahofel Crogien Chinienu. Vaseline Cocoa Glow with pure cocoa and shea butter.
Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
New Sunlight 2-in-1 for burst after burst of long-lasting freshness.
It is lovely to come your way one more time. This is Restoration with Stacy. Let's take a word from our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Ghana for Hisense Domasibe Bray. Netitru anya pomudia jumaya for Corona ya baye. Money and dini ye koso asrese. Abanshi say odiegu akwam no. Yen koso na ye niso. Ye di entra. Se wo home appliances a efe na eche ne bo da form afe entwe power. Yo bia be kan bia oboa. Eno ane Hisense. Hisense Nema, direct from factory. Yana ye. Inti yetimi promotion a brebia. Hisense product abeto Ghana and one abeto Germany and America. Your fridge, air condition, TV, washing machine, gas cooker, blender, rice cooker, mobile phones, sound system, and the break home. Yema 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Yeniamano, ya tete swama muse. Say yeah, no nose mask, no entry. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
GTP, timeless.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes comfort, I got Yes confidence, I got Yes.
The new Yas extra long sanitary pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi, is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got Yes confidence, I got
Yes.
We got Yes protection, I got
Yas extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got Yes protection.
Hello, your friend Jackie. So we will be a winning who are the jet to semia and pimpino. You to me 5 gems if in Kitadia, you need your brucia, your fans, any and down for any. Nanso, what bet to me about home by using a Donko hand sanitizer, debia, any bribia. Every say you to me 5 gems if in Yaman Yasa is so. A Donko hand sanitizer, bet to me about home by debia, free gems, bacteria, you need in home. A Donko hand sanitizer, sure or dog.
FD ahwehwe say dwade nkratoyi mu agye atum say eye.
For skin that's dull and dry, Vaseline Cocoa Glow with pure cocoa and shea butter. Blended with micro droplets of Vaseline jelly, revealing glowing radiant skin. For glowing radiance.
Underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor, but that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them, so they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
So bet matter we are.
ɛkyerɛ sɛ wobɛtumi nso atɔ wei wobɛsi dan so a wonni asase so deɛ ne boɔ da fam a manso ni ho ɛwɔ Jimray Company Limited wode Jimray a na wode asɛm Jimray nsase no ebi wɔ asutware Koforia Afianya West Palm City Kaswa East Palm City Kaswa and Shah Hills numbers here 0509 461675 and 0265 149942.
Restoration. Thank you to Ophelia of ABS Collection, Dansman Zodiac for my outfit, Divine Cassie for my makeup, and yay, this is the PEM collection from Afro Chic. So you can have your PEM collection. It's out there. Call our numbers and you would surely get yours. And today I just decided to try something new, add a little bit of color. I've been doing a lot of black, and I think I'm loving it. So call Afro Chic now, and you can get your PEM collection from us. Also, a big thank you to Harry's Professional Hair Salon for fixing this extension nicely. It's a wake up though, so after you can take it away if you wanted. Then a very big thank you to Stacey's Boutique GH for my shoes, and of course to Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer. And like always, before I begin my conversation, I make sure I use my Adonko Hand Sanitizer because you never know, I might touch. Thank you to Next Level, Hisense, Yas Washing Powder, and Yas Sanitary Pad. And of course, the Sousa Catering, they are responsible for making sure that my team and I really get good food to eat whilst we're here. And a big thank you to Axis Sweets for hosting us for our one-on-one edition of Restoration. Well, getting tired in life is not enough reason for you to give up. In life, you have to keep persevering till you achieve your aim. And my guest today is one incredible woman who has maintained her standards, who has said, yes, I do get tired along the way, but life goes on. My guest is Abby Bright, aspirant MP for Tema Central. Abby, how are you?
I'm very well, my darling sister.
It's so refreshing each time I see you, looking amazing, looking radiant, and I love the natural hair.
Thank you. I love it.
I know. So let's talk. I mean, for most people in Ghana, they got to know you from acting. But before acting, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh my, before acting was a lot of things. Something that I could have pursued in life was probably singing. I did hairdressing.
Whoa.
Yes, and these were a lot earlier. Well, TV from a very tender age. But along the line, I did a lot of business because we had to make ends meet. And then I went to school, studied management because I was always trying to make things better around me. And more business. I worked in startups and then started social work. I'm a development communicator by profession. And then along the line, movies and, all of that. So before movies was a lot of things, and somehow I'm sitting here today and aspiring to be MP.
Whoa. Okay, so when people tell me about how they started, I just ask, so how was it growing up? Where did you grow up? Did you grow up with both parents?
Well, interestingly, I was born in Nigeria to Ghanaian parents, who were working there. My dad has been there for 46, 47 years now.
Oh, that's long.
He's still there. His chieftaincy titles and stuff. So
wow.
he's
not coming back anytime soon.
Well, he does come back a lot,
but not to stay.
Well, we're looking forward to him staying. He'll get old enough that he has to at some point. But he's a citizen of the world, and that's how I grew up. Mostly with my mom. Even though I myself was all over the place, because from the age of 3, I was on TV, a child protege. I was from one show to the other, from one program to the other. So I wasn't really very stable. But the home environment was stable. My mother, a teacher herself, both parents are educationists. And so that was very, very stabilizing. So training was solid. but I had a wide exposure to a lot of things. By the age of 6, I was actually doing hair at a professional level because my mom had one of the first hairdressing salons in Abuja where I was born. And, it was just a new town at that time. So all of those things, people used to come from far and near to see this girl that did hair. So actually that was a career opportunity I could have explored if I needed to. And I'm
did
grateful.
It come to you naturally or your mom had to teach you?
Well, I think it came to all of us as a surprise. I actually stepped in to help a situation because we would get so busy, or they would get so busy in the salon. People were determined to be our clients. And so they will sit and wait for hours. And I think one day what actually happened was one woman got so frustrated and tired, that when I said, "Auntie, let me do your hair," she actually said, "Okay."
Just like that.
Just like that. But thinking back, I wouldn't have said yes. And then before anyone realized, I had rolled her hair very neatly, and people turned and it's like, that's me at the, on the last bit. And then suddenly that's how it started. So I didn't go through that process of anyone saying you can't do it or don't play with it. There was instant respect, and within a short time, most of our best clients would not let anyone else touch their hair but me.
At 6?
Yes, from the age of 6, yeah. By 7, I was like on top of a game. But I was a little girl. I was still doing TV and school and everything else. So from that age, the work ethic, I got used to working till 1 a.m. because we would get so busy and just solving problems, dealing with issues, filling in where there was a problem.
At that young age, with fame, you working, I'm sure you were getting some allowances along the line. How did it affect you? I mean, when you're young, you know you have to be a child, but when exposure comes in, when you go out, people recognize you. They know, oh, that's the girl from TV. Even in school, the feeling is not the same because you'd get those who just naturally come to you because they like you because you're on TV, and those who go like, oh, whatever. How was it and how did it affect you?
Well, interestingly, you talk about this thing about whatever. I didn't experience the whatever until much later in life in Ghana because over there, I grew up like that. So I think that I took it for granted. I took it for granted that everybody wanted you to be at their child's birthday party. And if you weren't there, then it wasn't, and all of that.
Big deal.
That everybody knew you because Abuja was a small town. In fact, our TV station, NTA Abuja, started with my program.
Okay.
Yes, so, I just got really used to being that star and all of that. And I think my parents had a lot to do with it. My father had a high-profile career, but he was a very simple person. My mother didn't treat me like I was anything special. I was just very loved, but she made me work and understand her journey as essentially, because I grew up mostly with her. I would have my dad, but it was only when he was there. And so it was both of us. And so I lived an adult life, so to speak, but
and everything you got, you had to work for it.
Yes, I understood about working for things. I watched my mother work for everything that she had. All around us were people that had maybe too much. But I could see the difference because really they admired me and the way that my mother brought me up. I seemed to lead their children. So having too much didn't necessarily mean that that was the best way, but we were comfortable. And so I developed empathy and a lot of character traits because also my mother, as a Ghanaian living in Nigeria, would take in other Ghanaians. We had a lot of people who would come, they were struggling, they didn't have a place to stay. So our house was a revolving door of people coming to stay. And the way that she treated everybody was auntie and uncle, so that got me into understanding how to have a big family that wasn't necessarily, related by blood. Yeah. So growing up was really nice. I came to Ghana and into a different environment. When at the age of 10. Before then, I would come on holiday. So it was still there, okay.
That was a different feeling.
Exactly. Now you come to live here, and it was a different reality. And suddenly you begin to understand how you can't shine, how the fact that you didn't speak anything except English was a problem.
Oh.
You know, where, yes, so you start to learn how to diminish yourself in certain circumstances. That was painful in some ways, but it was also a very significant part of my growth and development.
I mean, at 10, how difficult was it? Going to school, definitely you'd have some of the children speaking Chi, Ga, or other Ghanaian languages. And you were just clueless. You could just speak your English.
Yeah, actually, they used to call me Brony Petty because I had this long hair that I would, braid. And because I was singing also from the age of 3, a lot of my performances were music. I used to compose songs and sing and perform. So just singing all around was a very significant part of my life. Also, at that time, I had the opportunity to experience poverty. I say the opportunity, actually the privilege, because I was coming from a different background, where we'd seen people who had too much. But here I was in an environment in Community 7 where most people didn't have enough, and so it was a very different environment, including us. And so it was significant for me to experience that there was something else. But it also kindled some kind of fire in me to say, no, we shouldn't be living like this because there's another way to live. So all of those things contributed to, who I am today.
Back in Abuja, from your narration, I could tell you were comfortable.
Absolutely.
So how did you get to Community 7 without the comfort?
Well, because my mother made a decision that she was tired of living outside this country. And I think she was a bit too homesick. And that happens to,
everybody.
Yes. For me, it was something that I knew was going to happen because we always talked about home. Home was Ghana. Tema. All my family were in Tema. So, she made that decision to come. And the transition was a bit rough. So she's come home after 14, 17 years or so. And into this environment without work, now, your children and all of that. So it was quite a difficult situation.
Did you leave your father in Abuja?
Well, my father didn't live in Abuja, actually. He lived in another part of Nigeria, which is why, we weren't together all the time. Yes. And so, yes, he was where he was, and I was here with Mom. And I didn't grow up with them as a unit, but I grew up with their friendship. I grew up with a deep friendship.
I love that. It's so nice when parents are not together, but are still able to keep a friendship for the sake of their children.
Yes.
And it's a lot of respect.
It is. I respect both of them for it. And until we came to Ghana, and then, the realities of life, a different kind of life. Suddenly, you don't have that established routine that you had in Nigeria, where she ran like 3 businesses that I was involved in, even at my tender age. Suddenly, you're not the TV star.
Sorry.
And you're not all over the place. You're not traveling.
Nobody cares.
Yes, and suddenly the fact that you speak so much English is a problem. Suddenly the fact that you're singing and all of these things is not helpful to anyone. It used to be a source of pleasure and joy and something that brought in a lot of goodness. And now it was just disturbing because it really didn't make a living for us here. So that was the difficulty.
What were some of the most difficult times for you within that period?
Well, within that period was not being able to go to school for a couple of years because...
You're kidding?
Yes, because they couldn't afford to send me to school. And being from a totally different environment, it was very glaring in my case. Also, but...
How many years did you stay home?
Well, initially 2, and then after that 1. Because before then I was way ahead of my age mates in terms of school and all of that. So gradually, you begin to become normal, so to speak. But it was also a very defining time because I was taking through a whole process of Christian growth and development that has been very significant for me. Going to church, the church played a major role in nurturing us. Yes, going to Full Gospel. We would walk from Community 7 all the way to Community 1. People in Tema will understand what that is, But I handled all of this bravely, as my mother will say. And I respect that time because it's what proves to me, that I can lead people from diverse backgrounds. It's what puts a conviction in me. It's what puts enough experience in me that I respect, the realities of poverty, and have a healthy respect for how things can be better. So that was a wonderful time. We would pray. I have to tell you this. My mother will pray on inanimate objects and they would respond. So for example, our fridge will break down. And then she'll lay her hands on it and pray because we didn't have a choice. And it would boom, 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 boom. It would start working. I mean, even if it had been off for more than 24 hours, she'll do that to iron. So I've seen evidence of God. Today, people think they have to tell me, pray. But, my whole life has been prayer. Yes, and significant portions of my life have been sustained solely by prayer, not even by my mind or anything else.
Sometimes when you tell people about God, about the goodness of God, they think you're making noise. But when you meet someone who has tried, who has tested, who has seen proof of the goodness of God, it just makes your work so easy. And I'm sure our viewers are like, wow. I mean, that is uncommon faith. Laying hands on a broken refrigerator and it starts working. Yeah. Well, that is some faith. It's just like having faith to pray.
Yes.
For a mustard seed to... Oh gosh, I mean...
So the question is, how much more life? I mean, anything that's broken can be fixed.
It can be fixed.
Really.
No matter how bad it is. I mean, on that note, we have to take this break. And when we come back, our Hisense Super Crazy Giveaway Moment Street Edition will be on your screen. We'll be right back.
GTP, timeless.
Ghana for Hisense Domosibe Bray. Netitru anya pomudi adwumayefo. Corona yare baye. Woni ye diniye. Ye koso asre se. Abanche se odi egu akwam no. Ye nkoso na ye niso. Ye yie di entra. Se wo home appliances a efe. Na eche. Ne bo da form. Afe entwe power. Yo bia be kan bia oboa. Eno ane Hisense. Hisense niema eye direct from factory. Ya na ye. Nti yetimi promotion abrebia. Hisense product abeto Ghana and one over Germany and America. Your fridge, air condition, TV, washing machine, gas cooker, blender, rice cooker, mobile phones, sound system, and even break home. You have 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Mano, ya tete swama muse. Say yeah, no nose mask, no entry. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Enwine efese enwia akono afo chicken nini emuto kama afo chicken nini ema ho fesun kokra afede natural hair phones when your hair extension how hot to Afro chicken rini be ni boda fem boko. A natural access session obi who difference. Afro chick HBS ne kofa by Obenya e wokoko mlemle ye Benjoy FM. Frey 0202 747464. Afro chick ahofe krojien chinie no ho.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow. Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
So bet matter we are. A chance of betting is what away. Who best dance what we assassin. Assassin so there. The name water for more. Monsoon you. Our Jim Ray Company Limited. What did Jim Ray? Now they accept. Jim Ray is assassin. Everywhere to carry. Conformia. Afianya.
West Palm City Kaswa. East Palm City Kaswa. And the Shire Hills.
Numbers near 0509 461675 and 0265 149942.
I love to eat a tasty breakfast in the morning. Something delicious and healthy, filled with vitamins. That's my day right, makes me so bright. Keeps my body happy. Let me tell you about what I eat. It's my secret. Hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Wow! I say hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Hooch, crunchy, crunch, cornflakes. Crunchy!
Hi, my name is Jackie. If you're an active person like myself, there's nothing much you can do without picking up a few germs from my daily contact with fans, family, and friends. But you can protect yourself by using hand sanitizer. Use Adonko hand sanitizer daily and frequently, as a high percentage of germs are transmitted through hand contact. Adonko hand sanitizer gives you that daily protection from germs, bacteria you can't see. Adonko hand sanitizer. Show love, protect yourself.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
For skin that's dull and dry, Vaseline Cocoa Glow with pure cocoa and shea butter, blended with micro droplets of Vaseline jelly, revealing glowing, radiant skin for glowing radiance.
Underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor, but that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them, so they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
Introducing new Sunlight 2-in-1. It gives you burst after burst after burst of long-lasting freshness. New Sunlight 2-in-1 for burst after burst of long-lasting freshness.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by
by the FDA.
Okay, so we're still in Teshi and it's a High Sense Super Crazy giveaway moment. And we have Vivian with us. Vivian, it's the same. Just a Teshi for me buy and me feel good.
Yes, you welcome up.
Wow. Now, you're not interested with pet restoration.
Yeah. I watch it, but not too much. But Kakrana, Mashano,
Wenije pa. Now, the hen now share Wenije home pa.
Currently, I'm sure last one I'm sure Empress Gifted,
okay.
Yeah, which I've been listening over again.
Oh, all over and over and over again.
Story here, nice one, and it's similar to my own.
Similar to your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
The struggle's not fair, it's similar. Wow. God is being so good.
Into what share? No. How did it encourage you?
It's I shouldn't give up because she never gave up. Yeah, she never gave up. Baby, piano, and God made a way. So I also urge myself not to give up. So whatever happened,
you just keep going.
I should keep going.
The bonsema why I High Sense at Aroma. High Sense for CMFA we say Emedawas.
Wow.
Say that's so support restoration.
Thank you.
Then our catcher High Sense.
Thank you, High Sense. I'm so happy and I didn't even expect this.
Wow. That's a pass, so keep watching and God bless you.
I will.
So this is our winner for this week's High Sense Super Crazy giveaway moment. We'll come your way next week with another winner. Welcome back from the break, and I am sure you want to be our next winner for the next High Sense Super Crazy giveaway. You know what to do. Send us a message on our social media platforms, and you never know, I could come knocking on your door to present you something from High Sense. So we're back in the studio with AB Bright. I mean, that is so revealing. Who would have thought? Like, well, we see you look like some Dada B, no hard labor or anything. So with your mom going through all the processes, I know God listens. He answers prayers. Trust you me, it might take long, but when the time is right, he would come through for you.
Yeah.
At what point did God come through for your family?
Well, the interesting thing is that through all of this, apparently there were other options. I mean, at least for me, there was the option of coming out of it. Mm-hmm. But I'd always been with my mother. There wasn't an option for me to have a different life, apart from her. Yeah. So this is where she was, and that is where I stayed. As you grow, then you're able to explore more. So, of course, it didn't stay like that for too long. And also for her, we all grew up and people have been hardworking. My older ones, I'm the last of her 4 children.
Oh.
Yes. And I moved on from the environment and all of that. But you keep coming back. I've never been able to leave. This was my identity. It was the most significant thing about how I describe myself.
It's part of you.
Yes, was the fact that I was Ghanaian and I come from Tema, and that's where grandma and everybody and 5 generations, essentially by the time we started to have children, our children, my siblings started to have children. We were 5 generations. So this is where you are, and this is home. And that's why she was able to pack up a great life and move here and deal with all the, the hardships that, So it was the same for me to understand that this was our home and we needed to be here. So, of course, you go to school abroad, you have opportunities for work abroad, but you're always thinking about improving your ability to provide solutions home. And because from a tender age, I was always a fixer.
Yeah.
This was, for me, what was most important. So Tema, always on my mind. And that's how come I've been a 27-year, almost permanent resident of Tema.
Of Tema. And when did acting come in?
Well, my love affair with, the creative arts and all of these things, like I said, it's been all my life. But at that time, when I came to Ghana, it seemed like the singing and the acting and all of those things were not very useful. You know, this was a time when there wasn't much that one gained from the arts. Even though I spent a lot of time doing jingles, you know, and doing performances. People like Sammy B, Nana Finn, you know, Felix Owusu. I worked with. Yes. So which young teenager.
Which of the songs did you work on?
Felix Owusu's "Lean on Me" is actually written and performed, by myself, and then performed by him as well. But I wrote that song, for example. You know, I was always in the studio growing up, and also in church. So I did gospel, rap, reggae, and raga, and sang, you know, in almost all the churches around Tema, you know, full gospel mainly. That was every Sunday. You know, there was a gospel rap from me every Sunday, and then Action Chapel, ICGC, and everywhere. So that was early 90s up until early 2000s.
Wow.
Yes. So that was me.
For me, what actually got my attention with your acting was how you dealt with the guns.
So I'll tell you what.
Tell me.
I'll tell you what. That first movie where I held a gun was actually just by chance, because I was resolute about not getting pulled into this acting or whatever. I was all about working because, you know, there were so many people back home, so to speak, that needed your support. So the arts wasn't paying, at least that's how we looked at it. Yeah, so, I was very focused. And so I was resolute about not getting into the acting. But just by chance, Frank Raja, who's a Nigerian director, producer, said, "Oh, Abi, I'm doing my production, you know, so come around." So I was around helping to coordinate logistics, cars, guns, and stuff. And then he just said, "Look, your haircut, I beg you. You know, just walk in, just do like this for me." You know, that kind of thing. It was really unscripted. So I said, "Oh,
and this is you. This is what you've done."
And so I walked on, you know, on set. That was the game.
Yeah, the game.
You know, and then, you know, I did that scene with "Shut the fuck up, bitch." Apparently, that is one of my most famous.
I'm telling you, I mean, it was so well done, so believable.
That's how the whole relationship with the Ghanaian movie industry was born.
Wow. With acting, with your singing and everything, who would have thought you would want to do politics? Why politics?
Well, interesting. I would respond to this in a few ways. First of all, that many well-meaning people are sitting on the fence, you know, and we have a lot to complain about.
Yeah.
I have a lot to complain about.
I have a lot to complain about.
Exactly. Yeah. But who's going to fix it? Besides, I mean, a lawyer steps into politics. A doctor steps into politics. It amazes me that people question people from the arts stepping into politics. There's no part of, you know, there's no sector that should be barred from serving the people. And I wanted to be able to affect change from the inside. Imagine, my background is actually as a development communicator. It means I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
So my job as a development communicator is to assess the political, socioeconomic, you know, environment for any development project, and manage the relationship between development partners and the communities that they're, you know, working with. So when you go day in, day out, trying to make projects sustainable, you're one of the first people that should jump into helping to
solve the
issues. And to develop policy. You get frustrated because the decision makers, the people that are designing the direction of our development, are not even people that are trained to understand, to assess those issues and to advocate the issues. Now, here's me with this training and a natural flair for problem solving. and the busybody attitude of always intervening in problems.
The fixer.
Exactly. And so why wouldn't I? Why would I deny myself and my community the opportunity or, that service? And I'll sit on the fence and complain like the other well-meaning people. So this is what made me step in. These two factors, the fact that I would actually want to contribute to changing the direction, and also the fact that it's by training, I actually am, qualified or trained to provide that kind of service.
For most women, politics is something else. Most women have said the men would push you around and tell you it's a man's world, it's not for women. So just stay on the side and give us the support. Have you experienced that?
Well, yes, and I've experienced it from women as well. So in our time is more subtle. Nobody's actually, I think one person said to me that, Honorable, you go and take care of the food, leave the work for the men. And this is as a parliamentary candidate. And this is, from somebody that I'm supposed to be leading. So
you're kidding.
I know. But yeah, I know. I say, you go and look at the food and leave the work for the men. So but I don't get that kind of direct statement often enough. So it shocked me.
So yes, I was going to ask for your reaction.
This was my reaction. If you get confronted like that often enough, you can actually build anger or decide to react. But I didn't even know what to say for a minute.
This was a shock prize.
Yes.
You were shocked and surprised at the same time.
Because it's more subtle. It's subtle because people speak to you like you must not understand exactly what you're going into. There's subtle insults. The easiest one for people to assume that because you're selling an idea that should be bought, and it gets so desperate in our environment that people assume that you're ready to give up anything for it. And so there's the assumption that you put your back on the ground to get where you are. There's an assumption that you're being patronized by one man or the other, or should be if you're not. There's the assumption that you haven't probably made it in the corporate world. You're not successful on your own. And so this is an avenue that will give you a chance. Some people make statements like, oh, you are too beautiful to be in politics. I don't know whether it's because they understand that it's a grueling, difficult terrain where, sometimes you have to be going when you're campaigning. You don't even have time for a shower. You can't paint your lips red. Half the time you don't remember where your lipstick is. I don't know if that is what they mean to say you're too pretty to be doing politics. I hope that's what they mean. But if they assume that beautiful people, when I talk about beauty, I talk from the inside and every other way, that politics is so ugly that good people shouldn't venture into it, then it's disappointing. Because then we have no
good and beautiful people to lead you.
Absolutely. Then we have no right to complain, about what we get across the aisle, across board. Our political space could do with, a lot more responsible leadership. So, it's disappointing that the people who should choose and send people to represent them don't have much faith, in the people that they will send forth, or don't have high expectations of who those people should be in the first place. I think that they should expect a higher standard of people that are stepping into leadership.
Are there times you feel like giving up?
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you this. After my 2016 run, I said, I'm not going to do this again. And some people assume that it's because I lost. But really, it's not the loss, because it was a wonderful experience. And I grew, more in that 2-year period than I'd grown in the 10 years preceding it. So it was a very enriching experience. But you're thinking, can I make the sacrifice, the personal sacrifice? Can I go through this meal again? Am I giving enough to my people? Am I what the people want you? There's a lot of soul searching. Am I qualified for this? These are the questions that I was asking. Is it worth it? And because I did go through a lot. I mean, on a personal level, you don't want to talk about too much. I don't want to talk about too much, but it was difficult on my family, on my friends. I'm the one who liked to braid my niece's hair on Sunday. I'm a very private person. I like to go and come home and, 4 a.m. people are at your door. And I'm thinking I'm supposed to be leading and serving. What time do they expect me to pray? What time can I take a shower, get dressed, and be at the office for 8 a.m.? This is impossible, But then you go through a period of reflection where you start to count the blessing in this. What are the blessings? One of them is the fact that now people have trouble.
They come to you.
They come to you. They recognize you. They remember you. They have confidence in you.
Even if you're not going to solve their problem, talking to you is good enough.
So you've become their family. So I realized that, yes, I always considered Tema and Tema Central my family. But, this is the way in which it's practical that you're their family. And so you have to grow into ways of dealing with this and appreciating, this level of responsibility. Another thing, what was most disappointing was because I'd come into this with so much passion. Like I described to you before, you want to step in and make a difference, represent your people right, because I thought that our issues were not being advocated properly. And then I wake up in the morning and you hear, there's a group of 100 young people waiting for you somewhere. And, there are like 5 of those groups. And you have a packed day. But they continue to wait. You say, let's make it another. No, Honorable, we have to see you today. So you go with so much passion and you're happy to go and meet young people. In your mind, you're trying to fine-tune the plans you have for the constituency. You want to summarize them so you don't go and waste their time because they've been waiting for you for so long. It was so idealistic. And then you get there and they're not asking you any question about what your vision and your mission for our constituency, what you want to do. They don't have any complaints. They don't have any suggestions. They say, yet they say, 50-50 cities. And I changed honorable, then they get honorable. Now you have to say what 50 say, I change 50
and you won't have a choice.
Well, you do have a choice. The choice is that how can you afford to give 500 people 50 CDs each? Every day over 2 years of campaign. Why? I was disappointed because I thought that young people will be wanting to meet their sister, to ask me questions, to drill me, to make sure that I was serious about what it is that I was saying I was going to do. And as a young person, if I heard, do the math, if I heard that somebody had that kind of money to share for people, why couldn't they have just gifted us, a few kilometers of road? Why couldn't I have put lighting all over the constituency, as has been my passion? Why couldn't I have given more people scholarships? Why couldn't I have intervened in more problems if I was able to share 50 CDs to 500 people every day?
That's a lot of money.
Yes, I wouldn't have respect for a young person who is actually doing that, because it is not realistic. It speaks to a level of corruption that I'm praying that we can all concert together to stamp out of, our body politics. Yeah.
So what do you have to tell the youth, and why should they vote for you if they live in Tema Central?
I've come up with my specific plans for the constituency with a lot of help and involvement from residents, and people who have a lot to bring on board. The first set of plans is my Right Accountability Plan. It's important for me to make it clear that the foundation for everything that I'm doing is accountability and transparency. So my first set of plans is the Right Accountability Plan. And then next to it is the Right Opportunities Plan. And then after that is the Right Care Plans. So these are the three categories that we've grouped our plans.
It's indeed a right plan.
Yes, and because I can't go into so much detail, I'd like to encourage, everyone watching, not only from Tema Central, but specifically from Tema Central, to engage with me on my website, www.abbright.com, and on the various social media handles at AB Bright. There's also a phone number that they can reach us on.
You can share the phone number.
Yes, I think that's 0233-818-818. So 0233-818-818. I think you can call, but mostly WhatsApp is really good. It's a great way to be interactive. Yeah. And so there's a lot more about my plans, and it also affords an opportunity to ask questions and get more detail on the plans specifically for Tema Central, and what I'm hoping will be our contribution to the national, leadership, national governance also, because we're a significant part of this country. Our history makes us very unique. And so I hope that we will present and represent ourselves in a way that reminds Ghana just how special Tema is.
Yes.
Not only because it's at the center of the world, and that Tema Central is the center of the world, but also because it is the industrial township of Ghana, the first planned township specifically for workers and employment, and actually the bedrock of our country's economy.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. It's getting to know you like never. And I'm sure people watching us at home and around the world have also enjoyed it.
Yes.
But on the show, you don't come here and go empty-handed. So it's time for your high sense giveaway moment. Kindly pick an envelope and whatever you pick. And as you do that, let me enjoy my Adonko next level. Yeah,
okay.
You can enjoy yours as well.
Okay, so I always touch whoever and whatever is closest to me first and probe. So here's my envelope.
Okay. Let's see.
As close to me as family.
Okay. Oh, okay. So thank you for coming. You take home a Hisense blender.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so that's what you're taking.
This would be really good because apparently I should be having smoothies and stuff. I'm a new mother. So.
So it looks like everybody who picks something really needs that thing. So we have this beautiful one from Hisense for you. And I can tell you one thing for sure. This is very durable.
Oh,
so
thank you
very much.
Thank you very much. I am proud. I thank you for having me on your show.
That's not all. So, aside Hisense, this is also from Lexta Ghana, producers of Yas products and Hooch Conflicts. They would also want you to have this.
Thank you.
There's a lot.
Here, yes. I have got a lot of stuff.
Exercise books in there for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you know that I like to write a lot?
So
Thank
we
you.
can keep that
Thank
on
you
the
very
side.
much.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I put this down as well?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Then, finally.
Oh, wow.
Well, sometimes I wonder how Michael is able to do this. From Frame Masters.
Oh, that's one of my favorite shots.
Is it?
Yes.
So this is from Frame Masters.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh,
that's so beautiful.
Well, it was an unguarded moment.
Wow.
That's why I like it.
Thank you very much, AB, for coming.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing experience. I mean, you've opened up a lot, and I'm sure most people are like, wow, she's been through something. But at the end of the day, it's not about what you went through, but how you came out.
Yes, and how prepared I am for going through a lot more.
A lot more.
Because there should be more to go through. Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah. Thank you very much. So now you can enjoy your Adonko Next Level.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, it has been amazing. I've enjoyed every moment with AB Bright today. And I know that after listening to her story, you're actually thinking, should I really give up? Or give up a little bit of energy to continue this journey? Well, I know next week you'll be ready for our next story. But before we go, a very big thank you to all of our sponsors, Hisense, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hoochcon and Choco Flakes, to Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink. A very big thank you to you, GTP. What would I do without you? I love this fabric. To Jim Ray Company Limited, thank you very much. To the Sousa Catering, Soraya and your team, thank you for always feeding my crew and I. We love, love, love your food. A very big thank you to Frame Masters, to GH Artistry for our guests' makeup, to Divine Cassie, thank you very much, Divine Ophelia of ABS Collection. Thank you very much for my outfit. And don't forget our PEM collection from Afro Chic is actually out, so you can call us on 0202747464 and buy yours now. Thank you very much, everybody, to M-Clan Media Productions. You guys rock. And always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you. There is hope.